Hundreds gathered at the King Center to watch that speech. It was part of Organizing for America, which supports President Obama's policies.
The Organizing for America bus tour stopped at the Central Florida Fairgrounds in Orlando. Fox 35's Patrick Geets was there, and he's got more.
Looking and sounding more like a campaign rally instead of a rally for change, supporters of President Obama's health care reform plan say the issue has to be attacked with the same energy they used to get Mr. Obama elected.
That Floridians cannot afford to wait for health insurance reform, and we want health insurance reform now.
Organizing for America believes that it shouldn't only be Washington pundits and politicians that are having this debate on cable TV, but this conversation should be happening on front porches, kitchen tables across the country.
Well, close to 200 supporters of the president's health care reform plan rallied today in New Orleans under I-10 along Claiborne Avenue. The event, dubbed Organizing for America, was put on by the Democratic National Committee. The rally is part of an ongoing bus tour across the nation, emphasizing what they say are President Obama's principles for reform: lower costs, the protection of choice, and access to quality health care for all Americans.
A nationwide tour called Organizing for America is pushing for health care reform and stopped in South Dallas this morning. The group says there are about 6 million uninsured people in Texas. State Representative Roberto Alonzo was at today's event, urging North Texans to contact their representatives in Congress to vote in favor of health care reform.
The controversial health care debate literally rolling into Utah tonight.
The Obama health care bus is trying to rev up support for the president's reform plan. Chris Jones live at Sugar House Park, where the bus parked for the night. And Chris, how many cities has this bus visited so far?
Well, we've had 15 cities, 18 days, all in effort to pull this debate back into the court of President Obama.
The group Organizing for America, who supports President Barack Obama, is driving the bus across country to key states. The Utah crowd heard health care stories and phone numbers to call their representatives in Washington.
This event is mostly for those folks who support health insurance reform to come out, to make sure their voice is heard, to hear from other folks, and make sure that people know, our Congress people know, the public knows that there's a tremendous amount of support here in Utah.
As the health care debate continues in Washington, D.C., supporters of the president's reform rallied in Las Vegas last night. The Health Insurance Reform Now bus tour stopped at a union hall to gather support.
The message is, one, we got to cut costs. We got to cut costs for individuals. We got to cut costs for small businesses. We got to cut costs for our families. The second thing we have to do is, for those people that do have insurance, we got to make sure they have options. They have different options in terms of plans and doctors. And then the last thing we have to do is make sure that all Americans who aren't covered get covered.
The grassroots group will deliver their message in Las Vegas today.